Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon. Uh, Audio's working. Alrighty, guys. Good afternoon. There we go. And so, today we have another day of stocks. Today's Wednesday, January 7, 2026 is 1:31 p.m. Pacific time. I think market already closed Eastern time. Let me check really quick. Yeah, market close already. And so we're gonna go ahead and go through the stocks that we prepared yesterday. And so we have here J. Well, the first one was BNAI. That's the one we're gonna go ahead and check really quick. BNAI. And so BNAI had another drop here, just like I said. Yesterday, it was a little bit extended. It did consolidate a little bit. It did finish strong, but as you could see here, I mean, it had a couple days that it had, this whole week it went up. It was bound to come down. Hold on a second. Okay. And so, as you can see, this first red day, it dropped to the previous red day that it was before. And so, the area where we're supposed to break out at this moment was this point right here. I didn't mark it yesterday. I forgot to mark it. It was this point. It was the next point. There you go. Okay, so it's marked. So it was supposed to break out yesterday. Today, this morning, at the open, it tried to test the highs again, but it failed, and it just got slammed. These support areas right here failed. It's still around that support area. Um, you know, kind of doubting whether it's gonna return back to these highs again. I don't think that's gonna happen right now. It's at a point where it has to test these support levels before it bounces off and try to test these highs again, and for a breakout or breakout after it breaks out these levels right here. But once it breaks down these levels, this level becomes a strong resistance area, and so yeah, stocks have to completely gain strength, and so unless we have some type of news coming up soon, that might attract more buyers, this stock is going to continue to come lower. So got to pay attention to that. But this one will get finally will get off the list. That was pretty much it for this one. And so we did a pretty good week of it, and so it's off the list. So let's go ahead and go to JCSE. JCSE. And so don't forget, anybody showing up, don't forget to like, share, follow me. Those who are new, what I'm doing here is showing people how to find stocks. There's a lot of people that do this, which is they stream the stocks and everything, but they don't show them how to find them. They just say a lot of key things about stocks, which is great, but showing them how to find them, that's where everybody gets stuck. And so that's kind of what I'm showing you guys, how to find these low price stocks, because I mean there's different ways you could trade in the market. It's not only low price. I mean, you could trade mid caps, large caps. I mean, there's other different price ranges that you could go ahead and trade. But me, I like micro caps. That's kind of my niche. And so it works for me. It's been working for me for a while. And so, these were where there's a lot of opportunities in this in these capitalization lines ranges. And so, uh I have my criteria here. I don't know if you guys could see it on the stream. My criteria is all the way in the top here. And right here, if it's the pre-market market open, I want to focus on the percentage change. And so this is pretty much my criteria. Price has to be around 1 to 20 dollars per share. I have to we have to have price multi breaking out multiple for multiple days. Uh not for multiple days. I mean, that would be great, but I'm saying, like, it has to have like a multiple, in the daily. If you can see the daily, the price has to either open or break out several days of the past. That was at a certain level. I would show you that in a couple minutes. What I'm talking about. But me, I prefer like multi-week, multi-month, or multi-year highs. um that's kind of my preference. And so we want to know also why the stock is moving. Once we scan it, if it's a news or some type of relevant news that is very important. And so people who are trying to buy stocks, they're looking for these specific news to you know uh buy from it. And so these type of news attract people to buy. And so me, I only focus on certain news, but as long as it has news that either negative or positive, that's what I want to focus on. That it has some type of news, either from the website that you're trading or from social media, which is the X platform and stuff like that. So you want to focus on that. Float is the supply. What is the float? That's very key to know as well. And my criteria, um, my preference is under 10 million. Um, that's what I like, trading under 10 million. And so, also, volume, you want to make sure that the volume is over 1 million. This is personal preference as well. And so this is the key, knowing what's supply and demand. That's kind of what the stock market is, supply and demand. And so also you want to know the overall trend of the stocks. If it's going up or if it's going down and stuff like that. You want to know all these things. And so also you want to know the history of running. What's the history that the stock has at that current, for a couple months or years. You want to look as much back as you can, so you can see that it did had moments where it ran for a couple days, or it spiked up a couple dollars or something. And so you want to pay attention to that. And so this criteria is normally for pre-market and market open. Now this one is going to be for a market close, which is what we're using right now. We don't want to focus on the percentage change when the market is closed. We want to focus on volume, price, float, news, and the overall trend with and checking that overall trend for some history of running. And so we also have some crypto filters that we're going to go through today. But let's go ahead and knock these down really quick. These stocks that we had. This one we had it since day before yesterday. And so these right here are from yesterday. So we're gonna go through them right now. JCSE is the next one to check right now. And so let's go ahead and take that one out of the way so we can see the chart clearly. So JCSE, as you can see, no activity. Had no activity. What we have wrote here, we said good volume, low flow, has dividend news. That was a couple days ago. The day before yesterday. And then yesterday we said today is a breakout level. It break out the level of resistance that we have mentioned was 239. to and I said tomorrow it has to pull back and it has to bounce off the support, then another test of resistance, just to analyze. Now I forgot to put here that it has to have some type of you know wait a minute, let me show the chart again. There we go. So I forgot to put here that we were the stock has to have some type of volume. It has to have activity. Right here it did bounce off the support level, like I mentioned, and it went back up and test these highs but failed. And now all this is there's not much activity going on because there's no volume. Right here it says 364,000 shares traded for this stock. So not much activity going on, but it's around these ranges here. I don't think I'll have it on list again, unless it comes up with more volume and the percentage change goes up to 20, at least above 20% as well, and test these highs here. So that will be my criteria. Right now is no news, and so this one we're gonna take it off the list. Let's go ahead and take this one off the list. And so let's check ACI, which was the first one that we marked up yesterday. And so yesterday, let's see what we said yesterday. Had good price, had partnership news, which is a good news. Good volume, low flow, had history of running. Plan will be to test a higher day at 453 and eventually 480. So this one tested, and failed. Failed to break out convincingly, and it didn't even got to the next resistance level, and it went down. That this resistance was pretty significant because it failed. This price failed to break out. You know, and so the sellers were holding that price down, and so right now it's you know the distance between the VWAP and the price is a lot at this point, and so it has to test these levels of support. It did bounce off this this space here. I guess there was some buyers stacked up here and and pushed that price a little bit up, but not much. Not much to get to the VWAP levels here. And so let me check the audio to see. Okay, there we go. So it's where I have everything on. So yeah, it has to test these lows, bounce, and probably test tomorrow. It might do that, but to get to this point, it has a lot of work to do. Right now volume is low. It's at the average volume of the stock, and so that's not good to see. There was not much activity that I would have wanted to see, and so this one is out of the list as well. Unless it fits my criteria, then I'll look at it. But at this point, it failed, and so we'll take this one off the list. Take this one off the list, and the next one is MRNO. We'll look at MRNO. And so MRNO had zero activity here. Only had 544,000 of volume, which is not good. This one is gonna get out of the list as well. I'm gonna talk too much about that one. MNTS is another one. Let's check the MNTS. So MNTS did great today. Very, very good stock. It break out the resistance levels here and over here, these levels as well, on pre-market. And so right here, I mean, this was a breakout confirmation, and I mean, you would have take a little small loss, but you could have got back in the horse. Not probably not here. Somewhere around, let's see. Let me mark a confirmation breakout. not this one right here. And so the breakout point would have been somewhere around here. This is a confirmation breakout. This one, if you were tolerant enough to hold it, you could have probably made a little profit here. But me, I'm very skeptical. I would have took a little small loss and hop on the horse somewhere at the next resistance level here. So this was pre-market highs. This is what we call it, pre-market highs. And then right here, somewhere around here, we would have tried to get in. Now, everything is based on looking at the tape. You also want to look at the level 2 or 3 and 4 if you could afford it. And so right here, there was not much. Let me see. Yeah, around 4%. Not much profit, but something is something. Some people would have got it at the bounce off either VWAP or bounce off the support level after it broke out, which was over here. This was the support level after breakout. It bounced off the next resistance level and then dropped here and bounced off again off these, and it went high, way higher. So this was a pretty good move off bounces. You would have got a little bit of profit, whatever was your tolerance. Today it went up, how much percentage it went up today since the open? For around 43%. So yeah, 43%. So that was pretty good today. It did close somewhat of okay, not too strong. Strong would have been right here around the near the highs or at the high day. Now the resistance, normal resistance today would the highest point of today was this one right here. And those will be the ranges there. The key would be for it to bounce off these support levels and test these highs again, and possible breakout. The next, let me check the daily chart here. Let me see if you guys could. I don't want to miss nothing here. Let me check something really quick here. Okay. And all the platforms are work. Okay, good. Just making sure. Don't forget, guys, to hit the like button, share, and follow, especially if you're new too. I appreciate everyone coming up over here and supporting the channel. And so let's go ahead and continue. Let's go ahead and continue. And so, okay, we got it. And so as you can see here, the daily doesn't show a lot of information. It's a lot of, it's just a mess here unless you zoom in. And so when you zoom in, you could see a little bit, but the breakout, the actual breakout level would be up here, and this is it has some splits, stock splits. That's why you see here the 300s and stuff like that, 200s. It had a stock split, and so I doubt that it's gonna get up here. It has to create its own trend here. So it's not great overall, but it does have some history of running, and it's been running for quite a little bit here for a couple days. Well, most possibly like a week it's been running. But it had a good run here. We'll see. We'll keep it on watch. Had a great move today. Very good move that you guys could have capitalized on. Rhyme is the next one. And so Rhyme here today, it try to break out those resistance levels at pre-market and failed, and it just collapsed. Right now it's too extended. extended down. If the support level even couldn't resist these couldn't support these prices here and bound hold the price up. So it failed completely, and so right now, yeah, this one is out of the list. Not gonna concentrate too much on it. um and so, yeah, this one is out of the list, and so let's go ahead and make a new list today. Today, as you see, is the 7th of the month, 26, and it's 1:51 p.m. Also, on my description, as you can see on my description, I have also information of other platforms that I have as well. Pretty soon I'm gonna try to figure out the TikTok and everything like that, so you guys can see that through there. Also follow my Patreon site as well, so you guys could see everything that I'm gonna put. I'm gonna do blogs. I'm not sure if it's gonna be every day. I think I'm gonna do like once a week or something, because I have so many platforms that I have to pay attention of, and I don't want to like miss have you guys miss something. And so also follow my Discord, which is very important. I have plenty of information there, a lot of resources for you guys to you know uh better your learning curve and everything like that. So I hope you guys like it as well. And so also on my X platform, my X account, I also have an X account, and what I do is I share other streamers there as well. And some of my like some information I also share there. I will be sharing there as well. And I also have a, what do you call that, a True Social as well, which I will post on there when I'm going live and stuff like that, or videos that I have streamed before and stuff like that. I will be posting as well there. So just keep everything. It's good to follow everything so that you won't miss anything at the end of the day. Maybe you forgot to go on your X platform for a couple weeks, but you did saw me in Rumble or something like that, and then you know you won't forget to see the stream and learn more about the stocks and everything. So yeah, so just don't forget to hit the like and everything, and show support. And uh, I appreciate you guys doing that, especially looking at the stream as well. So let's continue. Let me show you guys how to find the stocks. So this is the platform that I use. So you guys could see the screens and everything, see how I filter things, the filter, so you guys can find the stocks and everything. I mean, it shows all different kinds of stocks from all around the world. And over here in this little map here, it shows what's hot at this particular moment. you know you got these big stocks here. You got the communication services on fire right now, just because you got GOG, which is, I think it's Google, yeah, for this one, for communication services. But the hottest one is this technology. You got all these greens and everything. Technology's pretty hot right now. And so, but you have more red overall. You have more red than green here. And let's see the SPY really quick, because it's always good to see the SPY, because it what moves the market. Based on what the SPY is doing, that's how you know what's going on. And so right now it's strong still. It's a healthy stock, ETF. And so it's going up today. It had a red day. Well, it yeah, it had a red day today, but it's near breaking all-time highs again. It's about to break out all-time highs. uh you know there's no conflicts or anything like that that the market has to worry about. That's why it's going up. And so every time there's some type of event that that's going on, the stock market starts shifting. But at this point right now, it's almost about to reach another level here of new highs, and so that's a good thing to see. So we could see that the market is still healthy. And so let's go ahead and do the screener really quick. Let me see if I could take the document off. So you guys could see the whole screener. Okay, there we go. And so as you can see, just press this tab right here, screener. And also, this platform is free, but it only shows you, the only downside is that it's delayed. The screener's delayed a couple minutes, and so when you're trading live, it's not good to have anything delayed, because you will miss on the opportunity of whatever stock that comes up. And I would recommend you guys to have a platform where you have a live scanner there that you can have available. This one has a live, I mean, you could get the subscription to get the live feed, live, to get these screeners live. But it's all, at the end of the day, is your choice how you want to see everything. I mean, on YouTube, you have also some channels that have screeners, and you could check the stocks that are live there. But YouTube also has a delay as well, and you most likely will miss the opportunity. So you have to pay attention to that. But let's continue. And so Finviz, you press the screener. After that, you go ahead and press this all, because this little information is not enough for what we're looking for. And so once you press all, then you see this, a lot of information here. And so the way I like to filter out first is through the market cap. Market cap is the total value of the company. And so the companies that I like to see are valued under 300 million. And so if you go down, then you have price, price per share of the company that is available in the market that is trading. And so if you go down the list, you'll see the 1 to 20 on this site. And so you press 1 to 20, is going to show up there. And then on the third column, we want to focus on the relative volume, which is the current volume, versus the average volume, between those two. This number comes up right here. It gives you throughout the calculation of the average volume over a period of time and the current volume, these numbers show up. And so depending on how good the volume is, then you can see the stock, based on this filter. So I like to focus on anything over 3, but what I prefer to look at is 5. But over 3 is still good. Some probably extra stocks that will show up, but 5 is still good. It's condensing more the amount of stocks to see for that day. So, and then if you move to the next column, you'll see here industry, and I would like to see stocks only. Then I would like to go to performance, and performance the stocks has to be up today. And then the next thing will be current volume. And so current volume, I like to see anything over 1 million. And then after that, I'm going to push to the next column. And so the next column will be float. And so float has to be under 10 million. And float is the supply, just like I said, float supply, volume is the demand. And so these are the things that I will want to pay attention to scan the stocks. And so if you scroll down, then you can see the information here, and it's scanned for four stocks right now at this time. And I would like to reduce what I'm looking at, and so I don't like to see none of this information here. And so the way you do that, you press custom, and then I'll take numbers out. I'll take out the company name, sector, industry, country, market cap, and P ratio. And also, since the market is closed, I don't want to see the percentage change. And so I take that one off too. And so at the end of this column right here, you can see down here you got relative volume. I would like to see that. And then on if you scoop over two columns, well, one column, you'll see on here, right here on this column, down, you see the shares float. And so those are the five things that I want to see when I'm looking at the stocks and preparing for the next day. And so um, let me see if you guys can see. Okay, yeah, we're still live, and we're 28 minutes. So we're still doing good on time. And so as you can see, here, we don't have oh, now you guys can see. Okay, so we don't have a lot of junk here to see. Very simple, basic, just to look at. And so we want to sort from volume, right? Sort from high to low. And so once you do that, then you can see here, we'll start with Lucy. That would be the first one. It had 172 million volume today. That's amazing. That's a lot of activity in that stock. And so Lucy, I've heard of Lucy before, and it seems like it gapped up. We'll look at it more clearly now. Lucy, and so it had a really good move today. Really awesome move. Right here, you would have made a really decent profit today. The breakout, well, right here, you see the confirmation pullback right here. I would have put the resistance line right there at this point, and I would buy somewhere around here. This is the confirmation breakout, and the next level would be right here. This is the entry point. And these two candles right here made 8%, and I would have been out around 5 to 6 or 7%, depending what I see on the level 3 and stuff like that. But that was a good one. Some people would have got it bouncing off the VWAP, or they would have waited for a bounce off the support, which was the resistance line at that current time. And so once it bounced off, people would have bought it right here in the next candle, and that next candle did 13%, which is awesome as well. And it bounced off it bounced off plenty of time, a lot of times off of these levels right here, and it's hovering over these levels still. It hasn't given back all of its gains, but right now it's down and it's a little bit extended from the VWAP. I would like for it to reclaim the VWAP and test the high of day again, which is well, it didn't test it multiple times, but it tried to test it here at this point in the afternoon, and it failed. So uh, right now it's coming down, so I'm not sure if it's gonna reclaim these levels again. However, if we look at the daily's um not looking good. It does have some history of running, as you can see. It had a couple bad earnings and some stock splits, but it's still, it had more good earnings than bad earnings in this period. And so it's knowing a little bit more of the fundamentals, that's all, your preference at the end of the day. The supply was a 4 million, which is pretty good. The volume was way, way, way above the average and the float, so that's good to see. And so, right here, it finished red, which I don't like stock to do that. It most likely has to fill the gap. So I'm not sure if it's gonna fill the gap in these coming days, or it gonna turn around, if it's gonna bounce. And the only way you can see that is through the level 3 and see if there's some heavy buyers here stacked up. But right now it did break down the support, convincingly right now. So I don't see it turning around at this moment. Lucy is out of my list. Unfortunately, I would have loved that one to remain so we could have seen if it did turn around. But let's move on to the next one. So let's check the screener. NVVE is the next one. And so NVVE is doing exactly what we're looking for. Um, it had a good move today as well. I'm not sure if we would have had some entry opportunities here. Yes, we would have had some opportunities in the afternoon. Um, right here would have been a good move here. Also here, just a little bit. You would have took a little bit of profit there at this point and at this point as well. So you got the confirmation breakout, and this is not much. It says 1%, so it's not much, but something is something. So you would have took a little gap there. If you would have trade like I'm trading, which is breakouts, but the right breakout to take was this point right here. This was a 3%, well 5% move, and it went all the way up to 7%. So is around that range that I like. That is my preference at the end of the day. I would have loved that right there, that move. Some people would have bought it right at the breakout and take a little bit more. Some people would have waited for the bounce off, VWAP. Right here is clouded. You could barely see when it's gonna start bouncing. Not after it break out these little small resistance levels here. But right now it reclaimed VWAP right after the close. I thought it was gonna fail after this one, because once it breaks down convincingly from the VWAP, it doesn't cover it doesn't re it well it has a hard time recovering, but it did recover successfully, and it break out the levels here again. This would have been a new level of resistance that it had to break out, and that's why it tried to test those levels once it reclaimed all these resistance levels. And right now it's bouncing off the support, which was a previous resistance level. So these are support levels right now, and we will want to see a bounce off these levels so it could test the high of day again, and either break out and go to the next level, which is, let's see, which is the next breakout level right here, this point, 796. So it have a long way to go to get from 4 to 7, but it's not impossible. It could still do that. Let's close that really quick, and 5 minute. So this one we'll have it on list. We'll have it on list. We'll check what was the news right now. Let's see, NVVE. It's not a perfect chart, but it had a pretty decent move. You know, it gapped up. It spiked and ran this little bit. And then it went down and consolidated here. Around these ranges here, and buyers were trying to hold the price up. And so that's that you see this bounce here. So let's go back to to my notes. Okay. Wait a minute, did I move? Okay. I did something here. You see my stream? Okay, my stream is looking good. Okay. And so MVVE had a good price, right? Right now is at a good price. Oh, let me take the bold off. Good price. Good price. Let's see, the good volume, has good volume. which is 78 million, which is good. Let's see the float. Very low float. Low float. Let's see if it has some type of news today. That the new it shows here news December 31st announces closing of private placement, A preferred stocks, warrants and stuff like that. So this is a holding company. Yeah, holding company here. Let me see if it has extra news. January 6th, yesterday. NUVVE Japan to launch 2 MW8 grid scale battery storage project. Okay, so they trying to, well, they launching this product right here. So, and it's a holding company, so that's good news. When they trying to launch a company, when they trying to launch a product, or they trying to merge a company, when they have earnings, when they have contract news, all these are good news. All that is significant news to see. Investment from big billionaires and stuff like that. Those are significant news, and so that's good. Let's go ahead and put here that it had news. Had news yesterday. New product launch. On the chart, the daily is bad, but it has history running. History of running. And plan would be for it to bounce off support at 394 ish and test high of day at 440. So that's how simple I write everything down. I don't put too much information. I just write down what I see of if whatever my criteria is. I just write down what it has from my criteria, and I next to it I just write my plan. Which is not hard to understand. So let's go on to the next stock. Next stock will be MNTS, which we already went through. We did went through this one. Yes, you see, and I think we did wrote, yeah, MNTS, which is good that it came out on that list again as a day 2. So that's good news. That's good to see, because that's what everybody's looking for these stocks to show up on the scanner. And so ELAB will be the next one and last for the stocks. ELAB. Yeah, ELAB. Let's go ahead and take before I take the list off so you guys can see a little bit. So today, yeah. This one had a pretty good move, but look at yesterday. I mean, this was the front end of the move, but it didn't show off. It didn't show on the scanner. Something happened here. Let's see the daily, how much it had of volume. It's always good to check the daily too, to see what was the previous day volume or the current day. And so it shows here that it was 4 million volume, and it was negative 12, which it opened at a multi-day breakout, but it gave back all of its gains, which is not good news. And today is trying to, this right here was a short, and they just covering this move right here. So this is the back end of the move. Yeah, this one I won't pay attention to it. It closed low too, a little bit below the mid, like the half of its gains, at the end of the day. you know yeah, I won't look at this one. So elap is out of the list, and so the only one we have today is MVVE, and we'll only analyze the MNTS, which had a pretty good move. These two had pretty good moves today, so very good. We don't have too much stocks, which is good. When we have a lot of stocks on to look at, then if you're in a little bit inexperienced, you go over your head and try to double think, oh, well, should I trade this stock, should I trade this other stock? Everything looks good, everything fits your criteria, and that's when you start making bad decisions. So you know having one or two stocks is pretty good, but you have to pick one of them first, at the current time that you're trading, especially if they both either gonna, they're near to breaking out, or near whatever your plan is. At the end of the day, is whatever your strategy is, whatever you feel comfortable at. But yeah, these are the two for tomorrow. And so tomorrow's Thursday. So um another day, and Friday will be the last day of the week, which is, stocks don't trade on the weekend. So we'll have 2 more days to check stocks and stuff like that, and do more lists. So yeah, any questions, make sure to comment on the stream, either on live or afterwards. Whatever question that you guys have, you guys could ask. Especially also, if you join the Discord, you could ask me, and I'll get them. I'm more like active on. I could be more active on the Discord. So but here is good as well. If you can't join the Discord, this will be okay. So let's go ahead and go to the crypto. Let's take this one off and start off with the crypto. Um, the ones we looked at, the ones we have listed, for today was all these right here. Especially Alpha, we were gonna keep our watch on it. Keep a watch for another test of high day at 2240, which was the time that we were looking at this crypto. Um, that was that day, but now the next day, day before yesterday. Now yesterday we said keep watch, looking like it could test a higher day as it failed more than 2 times. Okay, so let's look at that one really quick, Alpha, before, if it's not showing anything interesting, then we'll move it. We'll take it off. So crypto. Okay. So just like I said, once it broke down the support levels, it just came crashing down. It didn't test the highs here, and break out this resistance level. If it would have broke out the resistance level, it would have tried to test this high resistance level here, which is a strong resistance. And so, yeah, it failed. So this one is gonna get off the list. But that was pretty good analysis of what I was gonna show you guys. So that's pretty good. And so this one is coming off the list. Also, let me go ahead and update this date here before we move forward. And it's 2/19. p.m. What the hell? I put 16 there. Okay. So let's check Kokoro. And so, this was a great crypto moves here. This is what I like seeing. very clear chart. You could, you could have made some lines here. Now this is the front end of the move. This would be the back end. So, you know, I would have loved to catch it on this first move here. But this right here, it failed to continue on the next day, and it just went down, and these are the, it tried to bounce off these previous support levels, and it break down, and right now it's bouncing off these levels. It's not, it became resistance. So, the resistance levels here are trying to resist the price down more. And so, yeah, for this price to get up here, you got a lot of work to do. It has a lot of work to do. So this one, I'm taking it off the list. Nothing interesting right now. Rice. Let's check rice. Wait a minute. Rice. This stock, I did put some resistance. I think this was the one that I was looking at, because I have the resistance line here. It did bounce off these levels, but it's not showing. It is showing somewhat of a trend here going on in activity. However, the trading volume is 572, not active trading. So I won't pay attention of this one. Yeah, I don't like the way it's fluctuating here. Rice is getting off the list. And let's check Alon. And so Alon also failed to, because you had, it just, this right here gave back most half of its gains. Right here, when you see this candle like this, very bad to see. Um, you know, it tried to bounce off these levels of support, but it failed. It failed. Now it bounced off this level, and it's trying to recoup here. Um, these resistance levels here. Not sure if it's gonna get back to these levels here. So this one is gonna get off the list. I won't play with this one as well. So let's check Momo. And so Momo had a breakout. What was not, you know, was not convincingly, but you you could have probably made a little bit of money here at this point. Um, you got the confirmation breakout here. You would have gotten this little candle here, and it went up to 6%, which is not bad. It's still good. So that was pretty good today. I'm not sure if it's gonna reach these levels again. It's compared to these highs, it's it had a little consolidation here, zigzagging, a lot of zigzagging here going on. It has to fix itself. So right now it looks like it's like it's coming up again, but I'm not sure if it's gonna meet these resistance levels here. But this one we could keep it on watch. We could keep on watch since it was consolidating today. Let's put today's date 26, and it's 2:24 p.m. 2:24 p.m. And so keep on watch to test today. Well, high of day at 12:30. So that one we have it for tomorrow to look at, to analyze. Next one is SUPID. And so right here, next day, just tanking, more tanking today. Yeah, this one is gonna get off my list. It didn't test the higher day here. I don't know why I didn't mark this point. I forgot to mark higher day. So it failed. Previous day highs here. And it's just crashing down today. So this one is getting off the list. And block is the next one to check, which is the last one to verify before we scan another piece. So today had a breakout, but it was not convincingly. I think you would have taken advantage of this one as well. It went up 1%, a little bit above, yeah, 1%, somewhere around. It's not much. You would have made much here. But it did had a move yesterday. It had a pretty good move yesterday. Now it's coming down. It gave back all of its gains, yesterday gains. It's about to bounce these levels. Not sure if it's gonna bounce and you know test these highs again. That's a big move here. So this one is gonna get off the list. And so Momo is the one that we're gonna watch, and then we're gonna go ahead and do today another list. It's 2:27. 2:27 p.m. And so this is how we find the crypto. We go to coin market cap, and right here, it's very simple to filter. It has plenty of things here that you could dig in. Crypto is a big world. There's a lot of steps to do in order to acquire a crypto. I mean, you have all these coins that you have to, flip your money, swap it. That's what they call it. You have to swap your cash, your real cash, to some of these coins. Whatever the crypto is requiring. Sometimes the site, their site will say it. Their website will tell you, oh, well, you need this type of coins in order to acquire this crypto. And so, but I'll give you guys on how to find them. I'll show you guys how to find them, but the rest, you have to do your due diligence and do your research on it. And you'll figure it out eventually, because it's not hard. Also, especially the crypto, the not the crypto, the stocks. The stocks are really easy to buy and sell, and you don't have to do much steps. But this one is a little bit of extra steps, but it's not hard still. You could still learn how to do it. It's not too much. Excuse me. And so when you go to this site, let's say you see something new and you don't see this type of site that I'm looking at. You hit the title here again, and it's gonna show you what you want to see here, which is this point right here, filter. And so you're gonna see this right here. And so the way we're gonna filter this is, first, just like the stocks, is the market cap, the market value of the company. So I want to see only $1 million companies up to $10 million companies, which is very small. Next thing is the volume. The volume has to be 1 million over or up to 100 million. And percentage change, which is the price change here, 24 hours. Yeah, crypto is open 24 hours every day. It doesn't fall asleep. It doesn't stop, and it works on the weekend as well, and sometimes some holidays it does also run. So that's a good thing about the crypto. Now trying to trade these like with fundamentals, like for to do like a long-term investments. Now there you have to it's very hard to study them, because you got a lot of, it's not only, is pretty much open source too, like not in the term of you know being free, but like in the term of a lot of people can make a stock up, a crypto company, and they can launch it the same day. I mean, you don't have to do too many things, to release this. Now it is getting regulated here in the US now. The I guess the SEC is getting a hold out of this, but back then you could, I mean, you could make your crypto and do mining, like Bitcoin mining and stuff like that. I don't know if you can still do that. I think you do. You could still do that. I mean, I'm not knowledgeable on in those aspects, but there was a lot of iffy stuff going on the first years of crypto and stuff like that. So yeah, in terms of like doing like a long-term investment, you have to be careful what you're looking at. You got to know exactly what type of crypto you're looking at, if it's good financially, if it's legit and everything, so. But enough of talking about that. So the next filter is the percentage change. We like to see 10% to 500%, and then you click apply here. And so once you do that, then you want to go ahead and sort through per 24-hour percentage here, from high to low. And right here we don't have much. We have only four, and they don't seem like we'll look at them really clear, but there's not a lot of activity today going on. We only got four here. So OVL is one of them. We're gonna look at OVL. Next one will be Bay. Bay, four O's here. Oh, four O's, and then Pup will be the last one. So Pup. And so let's go ahead and look at those right now on the trading view. OVL, OVL, and crypto. Okay, so OVL had a pretty good move yesterday. This right here would have been a resistance point right here. These highs. Boom. And you would have, it didn't come up in the scanners yesterday when we were looking at this. Would have loved to, because this right here is a big move. You have right now is trading 13 million trading volume right now, and market cap is very low. The supply, it's around the same as the volume, 13 million, which is low supply. So it's good to know this. And so you would have caught it around here, made some profit somewhere up here. Some people would have bought it at the bounce of support many times. 1, 2, 3 times you would have caught it, made some profit, and it went all the way up to this point. Let's see how much it today it started off at this point. It went up 190. Let's see, 190, 93 to be exact. So that was not bad. It's still running off the highs. I'm not sure if it's gonna still continue to push, but we'll have this on watch for tomorrow as well. We'll keep a look at this one. Oh my god. See if I could zoom a little bit. So boom. So you got that point right there. The way you would mark the trending line here to kind of have like a guesstimate of what is flowing here, and the lows would have been right here at this point right here. So don't mind all these down trends here. That was the low. So, it was consolidating around the uptrending resistance. Well, it became support once it broke out yesterday. So these were the support levels here, and it was, fighting, consolidating around those lines there, and then it just broke out massively, and it got to this resistance, this new resistance level. So let's put this right here. Right there, you would have made some really good profits at that point. And so now it has to come down and bounce off these levels right here, somewhere around these levels, and test these highs. So it's still uptrending. We'll keep it on watch. But we have that there. And we have everything locked up. This one locked up. And this one, let's see. Yes, locked up. And this one is, let's lock it up. So let's go ahead and check the other one. Bay is the next one. And so Bay USDT. Let's check that. It's hard to see. But it does have some activity. It shows here volume 19 million. Not bad. Now I don't see a lot of information that I want to see from a crypto. Let's see on these other ones. Oh, this is USDT. Let me take that off. Crypto. So this is what I want to see. See, the crypto website is not bad to trade. There's you got a bunch of active activity there in that web. And so today it went up pretty decent. That's why it show up on the scanners. This right here would have been it is a confirmation pullback. I would have marked right here at this highs. And so it needs to test these highs in order for me to gain interest on the stock. Now the low of day of the previous day is that one, and the low of day is this point right here. So I put my trend line right there. And so right now it's not downtrending, it's uptrending. And so it seems like they want to come down and test these somewhere around these areas here. We'll see what it could do. We'll keep it on watch as well. Bay, interesting stock right here today. Wouldn't, if it would have show up earlier, I wouldn't trade it, around these levels, because there's no confirmation pullback. This is the only confirmation pullback I could see here. So yeah. So this one is a good one to watch, analyze. So we'll analyze that one tomorrow, and let's check the 4 O's here. Crypto. And so overall, this trend not great. It did had a move just a few minutes ago, well, a few hours ago. If it would have show up on the scanners at this point, this will be the confirmation pullback. And I would have waited for a confirmation breakout, and for it to break out convincingly, because this one was a pretty good one, but you would have took a little small loss. This one as well, somewhere, and it's not bad to if you would have got in here and took the loss, it would have been small. It wouldn't hurt you a lot. You could have still got it back on the horse. But this was a perfect move right here. This would be the better move. Right after that confirmation breakout, on the next candle, you would have made it. It went up to 8%, and that whole move was 17%. So that's pretty good move. You would have caught it at the bounces as well, depending. Let's put trending lines here. So the low of the previous day and the low of today, somewhere around here. So hard to predict where it's gonna go. So right now it's, it gave back half of its gains and it's trying to bounce off those levels. So this is the support level right now, and this is not the resistance level. This will be another point where you would have test like a confirmation test breakout, but this is the resistance level right here. And so it has to, if it breaks out these levels right here of resistance, which is, well, let's take this one off. Because you could have traded somewhere around here as well, but it's not counted as a resistance level. It has to be the recent high of resistance level. And the high right now of today is this one. And so it's bouncing off the support level and it has to test these highs. So we're not sure if it's gonna do that today. It went down pretty much, went down a lot. So I'm not confident about this one. I'm gonna take that off from the list. Let's check PUP. And so PUP has somewhat of a move, but there was a lot of zigzagging and it gave, these candles have these long wicks here. I don't like to see it just demonstrate weakness of the stock. Um, this would be the high resistance. It tried to test 2 more times and it failed. Not sure if it's gonna reach those lines. And it seems like this is the back end of it, but really hard to predict what it's gonna do. I won't have this on list. I would just mark the lines just in case if it shows up again on the list on the scanner. At least I have these marked up here. But yeah, I won't have this one on list. It is higher than normal. The trading volume is low, is at 1 million. Now the supply is super high, is at 1 billion. So yeah, this one it's not gonna be on the list. So we have OVL and Bay, and then we have Momo as well. So we got 3 for crypto and 2 for stocks, which is not much. Very simple. And so that's pretty much it for them. We won't look anything under 20%. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is the list, and also if you're looking for more like the news of the stocks or the crypto, you go to X. I would recommend for you guys to go to the X platform, and with the dollar sign, and if you put the ticker symbol next to it, then you can find it, and so it will show you, what's recent news today and everything. But if you want to see specifically what days that you want to see of the crypto or the stock, you could do this type of example, and I could post this on the Discord, so you guys could know exactly what I'm talking, so you guys could test it out pretty much. But yeah, these are my criteria and everything. And I also put a note here. Focus on the market cap when scanning for the stocks under 300 million market value, which is my personal preference. So, um, but at the end of the day, you have to, create your own criteria, and this is only for educational purposes. And so this right here was gonna help you find the stocks, and you could do, back testing and see what works and what doesn't work, and try to test my criteria. So I appreciate you guys for sticking around with me today. Um, you know, um, don't forget to hit the like button and share this stream on multiple platforms, so I could get some viewership and some more follows as well. I appreciate those who follow me yesterday as well. I would mention at the end of the month, I will start mentioning a list of the followers of this month. Um, and so, yeah, today I think it was a little bit. Well, I think we had a pretty good time. It was not too long of a video, of a stream. Let me check exactly how much time I've been here. Oh, let me lower the volume of my phone. So 1 hour 15, that's not bad, and so that's kind of what we want to do. At least an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes we do 2 hours when it's a lot of stocks and stuff like that. But 1 hour is pretty good, not bad. And so I appreciate you guys sticking around. And yeah, any questions, just hit the comments or uh, you know, text me anywhere in the social media platforms or my email as well, because I have it. I have my email down there as well. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and have a good afternoon. And uh, we'll see you guys tomorrow, almost the same time. Thank you guys.